Hello YouTube, I've got another high ELO ranked 3v3 here with very high ELO people here, with the teams being Leedle the Leedle versus Bueno Taco Bell, and the teams are going to be Lulu, Quinn, Darius versus Kayle, Nunu, and Vayne. So the only person that I'm very well aware of is the Submarine, because he's on one of those high ELO ranked teams. I'm not sure if these teams in particular are highly ranked, but there's a lot of diamond borders, so I expect it should be a fairly good game. So it looks like the lane matchups are going to be Darius versus Nunu in the jungle, and I'm guessing it'll be Quinn versus Vayne and Lulu versus Kayle. So will be kind of interesting here. This looks like this is a ranked 3v3, so should be fun, and we will be loading here very shortly. As far as summoner spells goes, we've got a Ghost on Darius, flashes on everybody else except for Nunu, who has no sort of escape. Nunu is running Smite, so he will be in the jungle, and Darius is also in the jungle, so should be kind of interesting. So without further ado, let's take a quick look at what everybody's running. Lulu's running Magic Pen with a little bit of CDR. So and she's only got she has a little bit of AP, so she probably is 2109. Quinn, on the other hand, going a little bit of AD, a lot of AD, just a little bit of armor pen, so probably 2190. Darius running just a little bit of armor pen. Looks like he is running a 921 build with flat AD runes. I'm not sure, but it looks like 921 would be my best guess. Let's take a quick look at the purple team. Kayle running just a little bit of Magic Pen. It looks like she'll be running a little bit tanky, so maybe 921. I don't know. It's hard to tell. So can't really see there. Nunu running just a little bit of Magic Pen, just a little bit of AP. Nothing too exciting here. He's probably some combination of 9, 12, 9 or something along those lines. Anyway, finally, Vayne, it looks like she's running a lot of attack damage. Everybody's starting with, looks like Doran's items is the way to go, with a couple crystalline flasks there on the purple team. So, and it looks like we're going to get this party underway here very shortly. Minions are coming. Keep in mind, this is a 3v3, so there are a few differences. For those of you who aren't familiar with 3v3s, there are only 3 camps per side. You've got Rays here, Wolves here, and Golems here. And then the Vilema, which is the equivalent of Baron buff on this map, spawns right here. So, and the only other thing to keep a note is there is a speed shrine here with a little health potion that spawns in the middle. So that's a quick look at the map. So looks like we're going to have Lulu versus Kayle at top, and Quinn and Vayne fighting each other. Quinn should be able to fight Vayne in a fight, I think. She has much better poke. She has higher mobility, but Vayne will have stronger sustain damage. But Quinn, I think, is a counter pick for her just because she does have that blind, which prevents those silver bolts from stacking here fairly regularly. So we will match these people up here so it's a little bit more easy to compare. But Nunu's going to be a force in the jungle. I'm not sure how good he will be in the actual team fight portion, but he will be ridiculous in the jungle. And we'll see if he can get a level advantage that way. So Lulu doing a little bit of damage, but taking a lot more here at this top lane engage, bringing her down to 200 health, and we're having a 2v2 engage here at bottom lane while it's going on. It looks like blue team is on the winning side of all that damage, but Lulu forced back just a little bit there on top. So as far as the combinations, I think purple team is relying a lot on the Vayne. Having Kayle ult the Vayne. Oh gosh, so much damage there on that Vayne. Gonna force her back here. And it looks like Darius manages to force this Kayle back in towards the blue team here. She does flash over the wall. And did they get rid of the speed shrine? Quinn comes up and looks like she is going to get the kill. Nice exhaust there, but a barrier prevents Quinn from going down, and first blood does go to that Darius, and now Nunu is in a little bit of a rough spot. Probably going to get hit by a little bit more damage here. Quinn manages to pick up the kill there with her passive from her W. Quinn taking a tower hit, gives a kill to Vayne, and Vayne almost gives a kill there to Lulu, but she manages to get away just in time before she manages to get another auto attack off. So nice little play. Looks like they're trying to play around, force this Vayne back. And they might do a little bit, enough damage here to take down this turret. Goal advantage is just barely in blue team's favor, but keep in mind they did get first blood and a second kill there. But Quinn really shouldn't have died. That was really greedy of her. Kayle catching this Lulu out of position, managing to do some nice sustained damage here. Going to force her back, but not going to be enough to pick up the kill, especially with Darius cock blocking there. So Quinn on her first back decided to get Doran's Blades there. Nunu decided to get a Hunter's Machete. I'm not sure how early he can go for those quick Vile Mob, but it looks like both the junglers decided to claim both of their altars there. So both teams will be getting that bonus gold generation and whatnot. Bonus mana regen, that's the other one. So a little bit more resource for both of them. And Quinn, you are so far out of position, it's not even funny. Kayle has caught her. There's the slow, followed up by a Nunu slow. She tries to dash away there with her E, and she might be able to get away. Vayne gets another auto attack. The dive is on. There is a Nunu snowball managing to slow her down just enough for Kayle to pick up the Q there. It looks like Darius is going to force that purple team back just a little bit. So purple team managing to come back from that gold disadvantage, only bringing it down to 200 gold. And the kills are very even right now. 2-2 with both the carries getting the kills so far. Well, I guess Darius has one of the ones to get kills. As far as farming goes, blue team is farming a lot better than purple team, with the exception of Quinn. Quinn is not farming very well. Not at all. So, what can you do? It's not relevant right now, but if she can, it will be very relevant towards the late game, because if Vayne manages to get a significant gold advantage. Vampiric Scepter, I forgot they changed the skin. It's been a while. I haven't played since the most recent patch notes went through, and so I'm not aware of all the skins. So we got a Vampiric Scepter on the Vayne there, and a Tear of the Goddess on the Lulu. So it looks like she wants to spam a lot. Get that Seraph's Embrace, whatnot. Looks like Darius manages to catch the Nunu a little bit out of position here, doing some nice damage here. I don't think he has enough for the dunk, but manages to pick up the kill regardless, giving up 2 assists there as well. And Vayne is going to be forced back here yet again. Nice little slow there and an auto attack done by the Lulu there, going to force that Vayne back just a little bit to the safety of her turret. And it looks like blue team is going to get this second altar. And remember, that not only steals that gold and mana buff, it also gives them a bonus to their attack damage and AP, 10% bonus AD and AP when they control both of those. So it's actually, that's nice, but the biggest benefit is that robbing that gold from the opposing team. So Darius trying to counter jungle here just a little bit, trying to get the purple team to get caught out of position here, trying to bait them into something weird here so Quinn and Lulu can come up, because I think they do have the level advantage right now, because they have 2 people level 6. It's about even. The one, all 3 of them are level 6 now. Quinn is just slightly behind. Nunu getting forced back here to the turret. Quinn doing some nice damage here to this Vayne, even though she's down a level. And Lulu doing some nice damage with the poke. Well done. So, is it 80 Nunu? That's interesting. Darius gets smashed into the wall, taking quite a bit of damage. Kayle ult goes down on the Vayne, manages to save her life. And it looks like Lulu is going to get picked up here. She might be able to get away from this Kayle. But Nunu, meanwhile, is going to go make it away just barely to this Quinn. But she manages to snipe him there with a Q. There's the ultimate from this Quinn Talon, and she manages to get a double kill there. And almost manages to bait the Vayne into overstaying her welcome and getting the Lulu to get a kill there on the Vayne. So it looks like this turret is getting brought very low here with a Spectral Lantern on the Darius. They're going to get a little bit more map control with that active effect, allowing to reveal those bushes. So, and Quinn looks like she really wanted to get that Vayne there, but she should just go for the turret. Take the easy gold here. Give your team a nice gold advantage, pick that up, and voila! The gold advantage is now 1.7k in blue team's favor. So, fun, and with the Warden's Mail on Darius, that's going to prevent a lot of the effectiveness of all 3 of these champions. Kayle is very auto-attack dependent, and Warden's Mail does decrease the attack speed. Vayne is another very auto-attack dependent champion. And it looks like this Nunu is running some sort of a hybrid of everything. I'm not quite sure Maybe they're just building the Vampiric Scepter into Grez's Spectral Lantern. That's probably the case, just for that reveal and the bonus damage to minions. But it's definitely going to be a little bit of a problem here because a lot of this purple team's damage is from those attack speeds. So I can't remember if they can still build Randuins, but a Frozen Heart would definitely be very, very bad. And here comes a Nunu ult. Oh, there's a snowball. It manages to slow, and Darius is coming around from behind. Vayne is coming up as well. Vayne ulting there, forcing that Quinn to fall back just a little bit, but Darius manages to pick up the Kayle there before the Vayne can join the fray. Ulting a little early there, so her ult actually wasn't very effective for the duration of that team fight. And she's trying to poke a little bit at this Darius, but unable to do too much effective poke. And now Lulu wants to poke away, manages to find that Nunu, but preventing him from going back immediately, but will manage to stay alive. Nothing bad's going to happen here. Even though I think Darius really wants to land a hook. Lulu's ultimate is on cooldown, but Darius's ultimate is back up. And oh man, there's the stun. Lots of damage going here on the Darius. He might be able to get away. He's got some nice movement speed. There is the Kayle ultimate, but here comes the Quinn, and there's the dunk. Does some nice damage there to the Nunu, brings him down, and Kayle goes down in the process. So, nice little play there from blue team, even though it was more purple team's overcommit to that team fight, because they were a little too sure of themselves, going for the tank there first. Remember, it's not always a good idea. Focusing the tank. You might be able to pick up the kill, but you might lose your entire team in the process. So, and it looks like Quinn is going to start poking at this top turret here, doing some nice damage. Probably going to bring it down to just under half. And then she'll be forced back here. And blue team manages to get that second altar once again here, robbing that gold advantage. He's still bringing the gold advantage down to 3k, but Quinn is caught out of position, and she is going to go down here. Vayne gets brought pretty low, but nobody's there to capitalize off that. So as far as item builds, we do have Vayne running with that Bilgewater Cutlass, most likely building that into a Blade of the Rune King. We've got a Hextech Sweeper there on the Lulu, just for that that active. Those active effects. Vision is so huge. You don't have wards on these 3v3 maps, so those visions the ability to check bushes is super relevant. So I'm not saying it's the best idea, but it's not a bad item. She gets AP, health, movement speed, cooldown reduction. Like it's a pretty solid item. Pretty solid. Plus that sexy active and the trap. The ability to see traps, but that's not going to play any effect on this game. So, and it looks like Quinn herself is also going to be going for that Blade of the Rune King. Blue team looks like they're trying to catch a purple team out of position here. This Eastern Altar is going to unlock here relatively soon. It looks like they did see that Vayne, so they want to catch her. Vayne is unsure of where everybody is, deciding to fall back because she thinks she's going to get ganked. I don't know. This is part of the problems of without having wards on this 3v3 is it can just be so dangerous just to move about the map. Quinn dropping the reveal there, trying to see where everybody is. Blue team pushing away at this top turret, trying to put a little bit of pressure on it. Pushing these minion waves will allow them to push just a little bit more on that turret, providing a little bit of pressure, trying to force the threat of that gold advantage. And it looks like Vayne might get caught out of position here. And don't forget, those altars only reveal when somebody is trying to take them. So they only reveal the person on Vayne. Force back. Looks like she decided to buy some things. Decided to get a second dagger there. Not quite enough to get that Blade of the Rune King yet. So purple team headed back. Gnash's Tooth on the Kayle will provide her with a lot more sustained damage. Plus that cooldown reduction is glorious. So, and Boots of Swiftness on the... a little bit of initiation there, but I don't think much is going to happen. Quinn getting caught way out of position. Manages to get a little bit out of the fight, and it looks like she might survive here. Darius taking up the storm. Manages to save Quinn, and now Lulu is running. That Quinn just got a little bit too aggressive. If anything loses this game, it's this Quinn's positioning. Clearly, her positioning has been one of her weakest attributes. She's really good at using her spells, it seems like. She's good at landing her skill shot. She just doesn't quite understand the positioning of this game yet, because that's twice now where she has gotten caught way out of position there with the Nunu snowballs and the Vayne condemns. It's just been very, very dangerous. And the first time her team managed to make it turn it into some sort of a benefit, but That time it was a little dangerous. Lulu doing some nice damage there to the Nunu. Beautiful flash there from Lulu. Manages to force her to be condemned way out of attack range from all of them. And Purple Team decides to break away there from chasing that Lulu, just because she does have that highly active slowing effect. So, fun. Purple Team is still trying to hold on here. The gold advantage is in Blue Team's favor by just under 2k, and looks like Quinn wants to poke away here. But I think she should just worry about farming, even though she is ahead of that Vayne in terms of farm. But, you know, we'll see. And it looks like the Haunted Guys, it looks like they also changed that image. Very cool. I like it. The old Haunted Guys was kind of ugly, in my opinion. So, I kind of like it. And I believe that now builds into the new Blackfire Torch, which has an active that is very similar to Deathfire Grass, if I recall. But I forget, because they just recently did that in the most recent patch. And I know they changed Blackfire Torch, I just don't remember exactly how it changed. I believe it was an active that increases the magic damage, but we'll find out in a little bit. I assume she is building that in. It looks like Blue Team will be going for this Vile Mod. Nunu might be aware of this. Yep, he is coming. He is aware of this. Remember, he does a lot of damage, so let's see what he does there. There's the Nunu ultimate. Purple Team manages to steal that with a smite, but Kayle is forced to flash away, but will go down in the process. And it looks like Nunu will also go down. This Talon's keeping pace here, and Darius manages to pick up the kill there with an auto attack. And now Blue Team will have a strong push. They're up 2 turrets. They did get that buff stolen from them, but that's okay. They managed to pick up 2 kills, and I'm not sure how the math exactly works. Vayne does have that buff, but to be perfectly honest, it just increases attack speed, so. And cooldown reduction. Uh-oh, Darius getting caught a little bit out of position, get a little bit too greedy there with that dive. And now Vayne is just wrecking this Blue Team here. She's just destroying them. Little greedy there with that dive. They did manage to get the turret, which is super relevant. Cracking the base, knocking down inhibitors is so much more relevant on this map, just because there is only one Nexus turret, which means that if this inhibitor does go down, and it's so much more vulnerable once that turret's down, because turrets don't respawn. It's just that much more dangerous. Lulu looks like she's just toying around with this Purple Team, trying to slow them down from doing anything too relevant. But Purple Team is having a very difficult time of pushing here. And the gold advantage is still only about 2k in Blue Team's favor, so. And it looks like they're just going to keep pushing here. Lulu clearing up all sorts of minion waves. And as far as the items go, we do have a Randuin's Omen there on the Darius, which will prevent that Vayne from doing too much damage, plus that active effect is very strong. Lulu, nothing too exciting since I last saw. Quinn does have that Blade of the Rune King and a BF Sword, while the Vayne only has a Blade of the Rune King, so little scary there, but Vayne also does have that Vile Maw buff for just a little bit longer. And it looks like Nunu is also going for that Blade of the Rune... Not Blade, blah, derp. Warden's Mail into a Randuin's Omen, and not sure what he's building that Spirit Stone into. I wonder if he's getting the Spirit of the Ancient Golem, so... Interesting. And it looks like Kayle is deciding to go for that... I think it's the Woglets builds into Seekers, because Zonius doesn't exist on here. It's Woglets, that's a combination of Zonius and Hat. But it looks like we do have an engage here. Quinn, once again, getting caught a little bit out of position. Nunu allowed to waltz in there and just do tons of damage to everybody, and Darius is going to go down to this Vayne that is just allowed to ravage this backline, but Quinn manages to pick up the kill there, but she is going to go down here, most likely to this Nunu. With that Warden's Mail, she's just not able to get the damage and the sustain that she needs, and Lulu looks like she is trying to snipe a kill here. Manages to get, oh man, so close there. Manages to get the Wraith there, but unable to pick up the kill there. So this Lulu still hasn't died. She is the only one that is running with a perfect game still. And unfortunate there that they couldn't get to Vayne there earlier, so that they could do just a little bit more damage. Because Vayne was just wreaking havoc there on Darius, and Nunu's ultimate was just doing a good job of cock-blocking that entire Blue Team. So, as far as items, we do have a Sanguine Blade now on that Quinn. She has a lot of damage and quite a bit of sustain now, because that's 2 lifesteal items there. And the more auto attack she gets off, the more lifesteal she gets. I'm pretty sure she will start to be pretty scary there. Vayne, on the other hand, deciding to go for the higher attack speed route, going with the Zeal, most likely building that into a Phantom Dancer, but it could be a, what is that item called? Blah, blah, Static Shiv, but most likely a Phantom Dancer. I think that is a better item on her. And Negatron Cloak on the Darius will prevent a lot of that damage there from the Kayle and the Nunu. So, looks like he is just going for pure tank, relying on that ultimate for that sustained damage there. Well, not sustained, the heart of his damage in that threat. So, looks like we're about to see another engage here. Blue team still pushing away at this bottom turn. And it looks like they're going to decide to swap, try and get the... that top neck, I don't know. They're just kind of dancing around, hoping to catch this purple team out of position. But so far, purple team has been the one that's been catching this blue team out of position. Looks like Lulu wants to pick a little bit of a fight there, trying to poke away a little bit, bringing Kayle down to about 2/3 there. And now it looks like the sieging will begin here from this blue team. This Lulu is doing an incredible amount of damage. And Vayne still trying to be scary. She's like, I'm Vayne. Fear me. But, meanwhile, the top lane is pushing against this blue team, but I think purple team still wants to dance around until they can catch that Vayne out of position. But we will see. Dance around. Lulu does get hit with a snowball, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Vayne manages to do a little bit of poke. Kayle landing a slow, but the shield's going to be enough to mitigate a lot of that damage. And there's another snowball, slowing down that Lulu. Quinn still throwing out Qs there, trying to poke away there with her Bird of Doom. Lulu once again gets hit by another slow and a Kayle slow, and now the poking. There is an ultimate from Lulu to prevent that Nunu ultimate from doing too much, and Quinn just dives in there trying to catch this Vayne, but Vayne stays alive, and this is going to be bad news bears here for this blue team because Lulu was already low and Darius was brought down, so this is most likely going to be an ace there. There is the double kill for the ace for Vayne, and it looks like purple team is going to be able to get maybe 2 turrets here, depending on how they tank. Nunu should tank this. And voila, the minions are tanking now. And 1 turret's down. And here goes some more minions before that second turret. Darius will be back up shortly, so will Quinn. Quinn will be up just before, but this will be a turret. I don't think it'll be an inhib, but it's going to be pretty close. Vilema is back up, keep that in mind. Manages to rock that turret, bring the gold advantage to about even. So nice little counterplay there from this purple team. Just Lulu underestimating the damage there from the slows there from Kayle and this Nunu, so pretty scary. Blue team just a little bit weaker in their positioning. They did a good job of catching purple team out of position there a couple times earlier, but their team positioning is much worse so far. But you also got to remember that Kayle, I think Kayle provides a lot more sustained damage than Lulu. Lulu's a very good poker. And blue team is doing the Vile Maw once again here, and I don't think purple team is aware of this. So Vile Maw does go to this blue team, and that is going to be relevant because Lulu loves the attack speed, so does Quinn, and the cooldown reduction is always helpful for both of those champions. So looks like blue team is going to try and split push yet again here, walking around as a team. Not really sure what they're doing, but looks like they're just trying to do pressure here and there. Catching this purple team out of position is probably the name of the game, but so far that has not been working very well for them. It seems like Lulu or Quinn constantly gets caught out of position. Nunu getting caught a little bit, but the slow whiffed, so not too much there. But all of a sudden, Lulu gets caught out of position yet again there. And there is once again another Nunu all providing a very much needed slow to that attack speed and movement speed. And Quinn gets forced out of the fight yet again. Darius goes down, but Lulu manages to pick up Kayle. But Lulu goes down to the Vayne. And all of a sudden, yet another team fight goes in this purple team's favor. And just because of that Vile Maw, blue team still has an advantage, but this Vayne is starting to get out of control. Out of control. She did decide to go with the stack shiv. Cute. Looks like they are diving this this Quinn burning her ultimate, trying to get away here. And the snowball manages to pick up the kill there with an ace, and it looks like purple team will be forced back there. Nunu taking some turret hits there for his friendly Vayne. Looks like Nunu is going to take the second ulti there, try and remove that gold generation that blue team currently has. And it looks like purple team is going to take this turret, and that is going to be the advantage in favor of purple team here, even though they already took it there by managing to pick up that talent. So the Quinn derp. Yeesh. Keep derping there on Quinn. I keep thinking the bird's called Talon. But anyway, looks like Vayne managing to catch the Lulu a little bit out of position there. Darius taking some nice damage here. And Kayle cuts him off, and this is going to be a dead Darius, and this might actually be a game-determining fight here. Nice Nunu ult going down there, catching the Lulu out of position yet again, and Quinn also caught out of position, going to get caught up by those slows, but the ultimate on the Vayne is going to prevent her from taking down the Vayne, and there goes yet another turret. Gold advantage is now about 2k in purple team's favor, and this is going to be a second turret, probably an inhib, because they got a full 19 seconds until even Darius is up, and Darius isn't that strong in that damage. Kayle taking the turret now, and there it goes. I don't think they'll be able to get both inhibitors, but actually they might. I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, they should just head back. And there's that inhib, and that's going to be huge because that's going to allow this bottom lane to push, so remember, with that only that one Nexus turret, those super creeps are very relevant, and it's going to force one of the blue team members to be pretty much babysitting this top lane. And purple team once again has both of those shrines, so that's definitely a little rough. Did I say blue? I think I meant purple. Anyway, as far as items go, looks like they're all starting to get to that Spectre's Cowl there. Provides for that additional health regen, another new item that just came out in the most recent patch. So I'm sorry if I sound a little stuffed up. I have a little bit of a cold here, but we're going to keep trying to provide content. And it looks like Darius gets caught out of position yet again, and that is most likely the game. It's definitely an inhibitor, and I'm pretty sure it's the game. Talon ulting there, trying to get away from this purple team, but this inhibitor is down. And with both inhibitors down, this is going to be very bad for this blue team. I don't see any way in which they can recover from this. Unless they win like the next 3 team fights. But with Darius down for the next 18 seconds, something is most likely going to go wrong here. They're trying, just hugging that Nexus turret, trying to allow for it. But remember, with only one Nexus turret, oh, rocking that Nunu ultimate does prevent a lot of that damage, but Quinn still goes down. Lulu goes down in the process, and down goes the Nexus turret. Darius goes in, trying to do some damage, getting him off the turret, trying to do what he can there, ulting, but not enough. And there is the triple kill there, and that is the game. Vayne picking up the final game, and it was a good one. Nice comeback there from the purple team. So, man, I should spectate 3v3s more. They're fun. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. If you like what you see, hit that like button, favorite, subscribe. You know the drill. If you really like it, I do appreciate it if you share it with your friends. And I'd like to thank you one more time for watching. We'll see you on the next video.